What's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building for another last CLOUDIA video. We got Buddha gang in the chat. What's going on, fam? How are we doing on this lovely Monday? Hello, Sock Serpentine Zan, Calphonite, the goats in the building, Madden Gaming, hello, Krakens, JT, Scoozy, Denji, hello fam, JT, Yuko, RNG, SX, Man, Meech. We are in the building. We are in the building today. You guys know why. You see who's behind me. We got a lot of announcements. Yuta, hello, Felix, Vendis, Obet Fear. Chat's blowing up. Y'all know I love you. Welcome to the 3.5 last CLOUDIA anniversary year live stream recap. We're going to go over the information that was talked about by Kit early this morning for your boy Buddha. Last night for many of you all. Got the Reddit prediction right. Yes, that's always a good time. Guys, Adel is in the building. I'm repping Shift Kyle on the home screen. And there's just so much information to talk about. I wanted to go over it in a live stream because we can just knock out point by point by point. There are a few videos I do want to make leading up to the anniversary discussing certain topics more in depth, but because I didn't do a typical watch party, you didn't get your boy Buddha's reaction to a lot of the information. I figured we would just hang out together and I could convince more of you guys this way to hit that join button below and join the Buddha fam to keep your boy Buddha off the streets. Lady Buddha's away at work. Tweacz' 100 gifted Buddha fam subs expired, so I'm trying to get those numbers back up. Scoozy's back. Thank you, my friend. And now that I have exposed myself in my greedy ways, why don't we minimize the LC screen for a second? Because we have a beautiful summary made by Calphonite. He has done this multiple times that goes over each of the points that was talked about in the live stream. Absolutely goated, so send your thank yous to the boy Calphonite. But we can see some things, right? Starting with Descent of Heroes, Adel, going over his kit and seeing what this man is about. We actually have another resource from our boy Tweacz, who took the janky little screenshots that we were told on the global side to snapshot ourselves, all small and blurry like. I don't know. I'm going to go with the reasoning that because the JP live stream was in front of a live audience, they couldn't do a proper global live stream translated. Maybe it was just too much to work out doing that early in the day and then later in the evening doing the global rendition, or however they've done it before, or vice versa. So I'm hoping this doesn't become a typical fashion. I saw the numbers on both the JP livestream and Kit's livestream were excellent, so that's great news for the game and the community. I'm glad people showed out for it. However, it was just a bit messy. I think we can all agree. They did global dirty, treated us like the that we are, like, whether you like it or not. Global is not the favorite child of the LC market, right? Of the LC family. We get the scraps. We get the butt end of the bread. We're just treated as the secondary market, which is fine and it makes sense. A lot of the things in Last CLOUDIA work a lot better in JP, which is why it's bigger over there. However, it makes us have to do some weird things. Luckily, we have Tweacz here. To make a unit summary in his typical fashion, take these beautiful blurry screenshots and make some nice text rendition of it. So why don't we just start in typical fashion, go over Adel's kit. I'm going to give you guys my feedback, talk to you in the chat as we go through it. So thank you guys for renewing. Those who did renew your Buddha fam memberships means a lot to me. I'm gonna have to make another in the arms of an angel style trailer. I think we're gonna have to do one each month to remind you guys that your boy Buddha needs your help desperately. Save a Buddha today. Hit that join button below. But let's get into the traits, shall we? Black sheep of the LC family, just as Calphonite said. What's up, One Reality? Love the info. Shout out to Tweacz, of course. So, trait 1, ultimate power. Holy enchant not set. When equipped with only one weapon, fire damage plus 45%, damage cap 25,000, resist flinch from fire and earth physical magic attacks. Let's keep going. When holy enchant is set, when equipped with only one weapon, light damage 45% and damage cap plus 25,000, resist flinch from light and dark physical and magic attacks. So, very interesting trait, because I would say this is the second unit that can properly switch the element that they're attacking with. Because it's all damage. Yeah, it's all damage. So we have our Dean, who I think only switches his physical attacks between neutral, earth, and fire. I don't count the units that like play off of the element resistance to determine the element switching, because you can't control that. Here with our Dean, you can control his element switching. With Adel here, you can as well, and change the entirety of the kit. The second part, the resisting flinch from fire, earth, and then dark and light physical and magic attacks, is a form of pseudo armor. It's not enough super armor. Pseudo super armor is what I meant to say. It's not enough for me to get excited that he like has non-flinching. However, where this will, I think, stand out incredibly well is in Maze of Tartarus. When you're taking him as a fire unit to take on earth enemies, you're going to notice. And when you switch to his holy enchant, when you take on a dark stage that needs to be hit with a strong light attacker, you're going to notice that super armor. So it has its niche super armor use, but it's definitely not a subcategory of super armor I'm super excited for in the majority of the game. It has its niche use, which is not a horrible thing. Trait 2 is Brave Soul. Continuous Grand Brave effect. So that's a big old fat boost to STR. 35% for those of you who don't know. Boss Wave. STR plus 20% more. So jumps up to 55% on that final wave, which is a giant STR multiplier. When special activates, add 15% of living allies' total stat spread to the unit's STR and deal damage. I did not read this. Okay, here's the thing. I skimmed over Adel's kit. Earlier today, I was in Discord talking a lot of smack about this man because first impressions, he's a single-wield damage dealer. Chew! Welcome back to the Buddha fam. He's a single-wield sword user, and it's really nothing we haven't seen before. X-Man coming back to the Buddha fam. Thank you so much. He's a single-wield physical sword user, right? There's nothing super exciting. That does damage. If you just read through his kit, that's his main purpose. He's a damage dealer. Nothing new that we haven't seen before. The only thing that's like unique is the element switching. That's pretty much all he's bringing to the table, but that's not enough to like look at him and be like, whoa, he's going to change the game. Nothing like that. But now I'm reading the actual details of his kit. When you activate his special, add 15% of the living... So, okay. I'm trying to understand this. He adds... Okay, if I have 3 other party members, you would add up each of those stats. So you'd add up the STR from all 3 units. You'd add up the defense from all 3 units. Add up... And then take 15% of that total amount and just add it to Adel's STR. This guy, if I had to make a prediction, what is going to be nice about him is he is going to rip through high defensive enemies. He's going to deal cap damage in places where like Bayland cannot, right? Where Shift Bayland, people notice when Shift Bayland's not capping off his base kit, it's usually against like stone enemies or the turtle enemies or spirit enemies, any enemies that have super, super high defense. I think this guy is just going to rip through it. I mean, I don't use STR ups Calphonite, so I don't know. What's up, D Coolix? So it's not that he, you know, he's going to reach his caps very easily if how much STR he's getting from this trait is what I think it is. But you have to activate the special. It's after the special, so it's not something you can just... I'm getting ahead of myself. It's not something you can just... Oh, I'm understanding now. This is when calculating his special damage. So he's going to hit caps on his special easier. That's what it is, Calphonite. That's what it is. The second trait is totally tailored for his special attack. That makes way more sense. Boost special damage based on number of living allies up to 45,000. So in order to reach that monstrous special damage cap that they add to him, you get this insane influx of STR. That makes way more sense. Because hitting damage caps with your special is already hard enough. So that's the goal of this trait too. He gets some great damage modifiers and element switching in his trait 1. And he gets modifiers to his special along with Grand Brave with his trait 2. So yeah, it's still just straight damage. That's way less exciting than giving him like STR for the entirety of the battle. But it makes more sense. It makes way more sense that way. Libe, I hope I said that right. Thanks for the vids. Just started playing Wednesday, and the vids are very helpful. I'm going to keep making them if you want to keep watching them. So I appreciate the words and happy to hear it. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I understand his traits now. Moving on to the abilities. We have his skill 1, Trust Edge. 7 hits. Instantly close the gap for a medium area fire combo attack. Holy enchant set changes from fire to light. I'm not going to keep reading that through these. Skill 2 is Grand Ride. 13 hits frontal medium area fire combo attack that launches enemies into the air. And skill 3 is Brave Strike. Wide area fire combo attack. Special is Ether Driver. Powerful wide area combo attack. And you can see the hit count. 7, 13, 18, and 26. I do want to go to the JP live stream and watch these animations with you guys. A couple things we might cut back to the live stream for to review. But let's go ahead and check out the animations to these skills, right? So fun little build up to showing who it was going to be. They showed the entire Great War of Ruin crew, which was cool. So theirs is the S1. The S2 has a cool little animation. S3 is a long animation. Not quite as long as Shift Nero's, but very long. This, god dang, this guy is screaming. 26 hits. 26 hits. So, many people have said it by now. Based off those animations, and the fact that he's a fire element user, like, very, very similar to Shift Nero, with the S1 being the gap closer. The hit counts are all very similar. Of course, this guy's going to be single wielding, as we're going to continue to read. But very, very similar hit counts. A lot of comparisons to him and Shift Nero. It does feel a little weird. I got that weird feeling as well when I was watching him for the first time. I think the S1's going to be a great spam. Yeah, any gap... Shift Nero re-approved that point. Re-approved? No, re-proved? I don't know how you say it. We haven't had an incredible S1 gap close spammer since, I would say, Kohaku, which everyone in today's Last Claudia basically forgot about. Shift Nero reminded us what a nice S1 gap closer does that's really spammable and fast. That's what this guy's going to have again. So, yeah, he's going to be really nice for that. The S3, the S2, I think you can get away with. The S3, though, unless you are fire element taking on fire or earth enemies, or the other one with light and dark, you're going to feel him get flinched out. Just like Shift Nero if you don't have his activatable super armor on. So, yeah. S1 looked really instant, really fast. It's just weird because they released a unit with such similar feel to him based off what we can see 2 updates ago, right? Shift Nero being the second part unit to the DMC collab. Like, it's got people like, what? Including myself. Everyone loves gap closers. Didn't get Nero, so you're going to go for Adel. Makes sense. His skills read a lot like Shift Nero's as well. Skill 1 and Skill 3 spam. The Skill 3, it's too long. That's the problem. It's too long for my taste. So, of course, disclaimer, we need to test everything in-game. So, we can't get too ahead of ourselves in our judgments. I love how the entire community makes absolute statements, including myself from time to time. Welcome, Lord of the Rings. Thank you for subscribing. Including myself making absolute statements on how they're going to perform when we're talking about them in Discord, like little online trolls. But we have to wait until he's in-game to truly know what he's going to be able to do. So, that's going to take care of his skills. Nice little blurry image again, but we got it all broken down, so... Huge thank you to Tweacz. I was hoping Tweacz could make it, but he's busy. I was going to have him on the live stream, but he's busy. So let's go through the skill board, right? The juice. We have Heroes Charisma. All allies, STR, Defense, INT, and MND plus 10%. Damage cap to boss monsters plus 2,000. So a little bit of a mixed charisma in there. Definitely not going to complain about it. It's not my favorite charisma that we have, but it is damage cap that applies to all units, specifically to boss monsters, which is a shame. But it also gives the stat buffs, so not a bad charisma by any means. We have fair and square. Physical attack damage plus 20%. And damage cap plus 2,000 to enemies without status ailments. I'm about to like start hiccuping for some reason. Hold on, give me a second. All the talking, you know, it just gets the windpipes clogged up, I guess. Let me move my giant gallon of water. Where were we? Fair and square. Do an extra damage to enemies without status ailments, which I think is funny. I don't know if we've really seen that before. Makes life easier, but then it kind of counteracts one of the most OP things you can do to enemies. So, a little trade-off we see. Stacks with Thouser's Anima. I don't even remember Thouser's Anima. Whoops. All right, let's keep on reading. I also haven't looked at this at all, so this is my first impression to his skill kit, to his skill set. Next we have Parry. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm having a meltdown, guys. I'm so sorry. This is so unprofessional. Alright. Parry. When sword is equipped, chance for critical damage taken minus 40%. That's pretty fascinating. I don't like the chances. Would have just been nice if it was like Cloak of Majesty. Is that what it is? Cloak of Majesty that gives... We can find out right now. We can find out right now. Cloak of Majesty. Nope, that's not what it is. What am I thinking of? What's the one that gives minus 50% from crits? Too hyped, Auradon. I know. No, it's not critical shield. Is it royal armor? Yes. Okay, so this is different. It's a 50% chance to receive a critical hit as a normal hit. Okay, Royal Armors. That's completely different than what I thought it was. So that's also chance. So it's all chances. It's all chances. It's fine. So this is a chance for critical damage taken minus 40%, which is a great damage reduction modifier. We have Unbreakable Spirit. While unit is alive and all others are incapacitated, when taking lethal damage, survive 1 HP and get a 7-second nullify damage taken buff. Durability is max HP times 3 once per wave. I'm going to read that again. When unit is alive and all other allies are incapacitated, when taking lethal damage, survive with 1 HP and get the 7-second nullify damage taken buff. Or durability max HP times 3. Is that how I'm understanding that? That's strong. That is strong. Mikasa's getting a bit jealous. Yes, Yuko. That is a strong ability. It's very conditional. It's very conditional, though. To have all of your other allies die is not a condition. Like, this is not... It's... I don't know. I'm not going to say Mikasa's getting jealous, because Mikasa's is unconditional. She can get slapped and then have that invincibility. This requires a pretty large sacrifice. I don't see a lot of situations where this is going to be normal and like easy to take advantage of. It's literally just going to save people who aren't great at the game. And that sounds really arrogant to say. But do you guys know what I mean? Like, if you, or any situation that you get in a pinch. And when I say who aren't good at the game, that's not how I should say that. Because there are plenty of situations where I'm horrible at the game. And that's exactly what I mean. When I say that, I mean being good at the game is usually when you figure out a way to clear things fast, efficiently, without much headache. This skill is not going to contribute to those kinds of strategies. This skill is going to help you when you have no idea what's happening, your whole team's dying, you don't know what the hell, and you just need something to save you. That's what this skill is going to do. So it's really powerful when you need it. But it's not like Mikasa in Arena. No shot. It might come into handy once in a while, but I don't think many people are gonna... I don't think it's as crazy as it sounds on paper, is what I'm trying to say. It'll carry players who don't really know what's going on. Divinity Buster, I mean, we know what that is. Physical attack, special counter, all have anti-god, spirit, undead type effect, which is also incredible for a unit like this guy. What I will say about Adel here is that based on his 2 traits and then obviously Divinity Buster, he has actual emphasis on being on hitting good special damage along with his physical capability. And having the Buster here is going to help that even more. Usually you need to build units specifically to maximize their special to get the true amount you need from it. Alice is no exception. You can't really have both. This guy seems like whether you're using his physical attacks or his special, you're going to be dealing good damage. So this is like the first time Buster actually feels cohesive in a kit. Holy Enchant. Change skill and special attributes to light. So there's that one. Flames of Justice. I want to go back. The enchant skill itself does have a lot of potential for the future. So I'm not against units swapping elements as long as it can be done correctly, which it seems like the next skill points into that direction. Flames of Justice, fire and light damage plus 30% and damage cap plus 10,000. It will be very worrisome. I don't see it anywhere. I just skimmed through. If this guy only, like Shift Kyle only had fire attack raises. So when his conversion to light happened, you had 0 damage boosting modifiers. Matt Brown, welcome. As long as units that can swap these elements have just flat damage modifiers that aren't tied to elements, or like Flames of Justice here where it contributes to both of the elements, we're looking at the right combination of things. Doppelhander boost 3. When only one weapon is equipped, physical attack damage plus 30% and cap plus 9,000. How much would that cost? What is Doppelhander boost? 6 SC? Probably be like 15 SC. That's a powerful skill. And auto high protection, continuous high protection effect. Seems like Shift Kyle and Nero Shift combined, that's not a bad comparison at all, Mike B. I agree with that. And then looking at skills that we know. Attack up max, Fighting Spirit 4, Fighting Spirit max. Have we ever seen Fighting Spirit max? We must have, because it's not listed as a new skill. Technically, that should be in the new skill, Barlene. I'm just saying. Just saying. No one has it. But maybe it was in the game. I don't know. So, I know you're in here, Barlene. I saw you in the beginning of chat. We got Heroism up 3, Critical up 3, which is great. Advancing Vital, Special Boost, nice. Divinity Shield as well. Pose of Victory, Armor HP Plus, Piercing. Tweacz, what's going on, man? What happened? Fury 2, Quick Trigger. I'm going to just lower my head. Quick Trigger will take Shockwave 2. That's nice. Awaken 2. Okay. Auto Haste, Doppelhander, Favored Sword, Sword Boost, Sword Mega Boost, Armor High Boost, Ultimate Boost 2, Giant Killing 2. That's a nice kit. That's a nice kit, y'all. That's a nice kit. He's not going to need much help in the areas that he's built to perform in. And, of course, we have the damage cap breakdown, which is great to jump into. Tweacz had a... He did, I know. Tweacz... Kudos to everyone who stayed up to watch the live stream that's in the West. Very late night for us global LC players, or at least in the US. We have the innate single-wield physical damage caps from his base. Then we have trait, fair and square if there are no ailments. Flames of Justice plus 10,000. Did I miss that in my head? Yup. I did not register 10,000. Goodness gracious. 10,000, Doppelhander boost 3, 9. Doppelhander, another 5. Favored Sword. Sword Mega Boost, Giant Killing 2, and Hero's Charisma against bosses. So without the, conditionals, no bosses, no ailments, and then with those, you're looking at 70k to 77k base. That is a monstrous damage cap. And these are not small hit counts. That's a big number. That's just no enabling, y'all. This is with no enabling. So this is not with Tinkili, not with Sarah, not with Expet, not with Ark being Eldravana, not with Doppelhander Boost. He doesn't have that innately, which we can teach from Balin's Ark. That's not bad at all. Then looking at the innate special damage caps, we get up to 102,000. Okay, so what is that though? Without Hero Charisma and Giant Killing 2, it's ranging from 98 to this 102. I see why the hit counts are so low. So this is interesting. I was in my head when I just went silent. I was wondering if it was single target or all enemies. It's actually going back to how the specials used to be, how some of them used to be, where this special is actually a powerful wide area. So it's neither. It's a range. It's a radius that he deals this damage to. Now, while that is a monstrous damage cap for a special, the total damage output is actually not like the most impressive thing. We have Alice pumping out AoE specials from 4 to 5 million damage. So, this is not the craziest thing in the world if you're just talking about our special potential. However, this in combination with this guy's physical damage potential, it's just a lot of damage all over the place. It is better. Yeah, that's definitely better than a single target special. But it's not like the best at any one thing. It's just really stand out in all of the areas. You got to understand, on top of this guy dealing that amount of damage cap, he's a single wield unit with a lot of bruisery type things. So I think he's going to be dealing he's going to be hitting his caps fairly easily. As long as you're bringing him in situations where he's strong against, obviously, where he's going to have his Slayers active if you're fighting element weak enemies. He's going to have that, coupled with the defensive capabilities you can give him and that he already comes with up there. And you can just slap out a potential 2.6, almost 2.7 million damage with the special. So it's just damage. It's just damage and a lot of damage and bulk. Yeah, he's not going to slap everything hard because he is element locked. Even though you can swap, right? Like, although you can't swap mid-battle. So, you do have to plan if you want to go into the battle with him as a fire unit or a light unit, you will have to plan that ahead of time. However, he is customizable. He is going to exceed in the areas that he's built for. So, I mean, okay. I made a statement in Discord earlier. I said, I think this guy's going to age like Shift Kyle. I don't think he's going to age like Shift Kyle. I don't think he's going to age like Shift Kyle. I think he's going to be an extremely solid unit. Shift Kyle was crept at record speed for an anniversary unit, I think. This guy's he'll be around a while. Adel's going to be around a while. I think that Shift Kyle plus Shift Nero plus proper single-wheeled built units is what this guy is altogether. Shift Roland being he's got different emphasis in different areas. And he has true super armor. I don't think this guy's going to be the same as Roland from a defensive standpoint. Nuo, welcome. From a defensive standpoint, I think Shift Roland still is going to survive a lot of battles much easier. And then just with his universal super armor, plus that damage mitigation while he's actually attacking and stuff, like, Roland will still be better than this guy at that. But Roland, even when Roland is buffed the hell... Oh, we didn't even talk about... Well, it's not super duper crazy. If you had Shift Balin's charisma on this man, that's another set of enabling, giving him another 3,000. Roland, fully enabled, I don't think even hits this damage cap. And this is Adel's base. Right? So... there are differences to think about when you're looking at Shift Roland and Adel here. Adel is absolutely the better damage dealer, no doubt. But I think Shift Roland's still going to be super defensive with that super armor, which just makes him stand out in so many situations. But in terms of like pure damage output, this guy's gonna be a bit cracked. He's gonna be a bit cracked. It's inevitable to compare heroes. It gives us a level of serotonin. It's just part of the game. Let's move on because I think we've talked about this guy enough. And we have so much more to talk about. It's been 30 minutes. You guys are getting the unedited version. So we have a UR arc coming, y'all. Prefects of God. These prefects were introduced in the latest story chapter. Very interesting stuff. We're getting more story tomorrow, by the way, which is something we'll go over. But let's go ahead and read through what it's bringing. Arc trait at max level. Battle start when revived. Give buff to boost skill damage plus 40% and damage cap plus 8,000 until skills are used 4 times. What a weird thing. I really want to know who comes up with these traits. I'm not mad at it. It's just like when skills are used 4 times, I just want to know whose brain came up with that. Like, what was the series of thoughts that led to that decision? It's just interesting. Yeah, the art is incredible. No doubt about it. Oh, story is on. Okay, we'll get into that when we read more, Cal. Thank you. Here's the thing. For burst, just straight, even though, okay, some multiplayer, this arc is going to be so nice. Because a lot of times in multiplayer, I didn't read that right. I'm so sorry. Kekaroto, I think. Kekaroto, thank you. In multiplayer, a lot of times, you just need that initial burst damage. to wipe the boss's health. So 8,000 cap for that initial burst damage, first 4 skills. Like, imagine this 8,000 cap on top of your Shift Balin's 4 stocks of S3, right? As long as you're not fighting bosses with HP locks, that's a good amount of damage to add. So don't hate it, don't love it, but that's a ton of damage and damage cap for the first 4 skills. When HP hits 0, auto revive and restore HP, super powerful. Boost skill damage based on INT, so just adds Thaumaturgy Ring. And during when unit is revived, you get another STR and INT plus 15%. Yeah, I'm not mad at that trait at all. I would run this Ark in a lot of situations. I would run this Ark. You also get the damage boost when you are revived. So to take advantage of this Ark in its entirety, I don't love, because you get that burst damage at the battle start. But then the entire the rest of the Ark plays on you dying and coming back, which is just it again. It's not a strategy I play into. I don't look for ways to take advantage of units dying. So I think it will find its uses, and you know, maybe there's a boss where you burst it down to a certain HP threshold and then it auto kills your team. And the only way to beat it is to have revive stacks. Then this is like super godly. But until we have something like that, I think it will just be very useful for that burst damage. And then obviously it will help out people who do struggle to survive. When you revive, you get some boosts again. So it's strong. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. This trait is literally a buff to Netherworld nature. Yeah. I am not super familiar with Netherworld nature off the top of my head. But you know why? We have Lake's Gold Mine, which is just... I do have an announcement at the end of this video. At the end of this live stream, guys. A big one. So, just keep that in the back of your minds. For every dead party member, stacked damage for fire, thunder, and dark. Up to 30% damage at 40 dead party members. How do you get 4 dead party members? When unit dies, automatically revive HP, 50% skill charge speed. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple differences, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's look at the skill. So this is going to be at Ark skill level 10, right? When you have these UR Arks, you can use extensions, duplicates, UR Stardusts to upgrade the Ark skill, which is separate from the Ark level for the newbies in the chat. So the Ark skill at max level 10. Give all enemies a damage minus 50% buff that gradually cuts HP. That's strong. That's super strong. Give all human enemies Prefects of God debuff, which cuts movement speed and all of those stats by 20% more. So it nukes the damage from any enemy, and then even more so from human enemies. Yeah. That is uber strong. Oh, undead counts as dead. Interesting. That makes sense, Apples. Thank you for that clarification. Wow. That's disgusting. Especially now that we're getting into this age of bosses that have at least one type of nuclear style attack. That can help you just bypass it and get the no death run easily. So there's a lot of use there. Still not on the level, I would say, of Great War of Ruin at level 10, Council of 10 at level 10. or even Theopolis, I still think I would take the resistance and grouping of Theopolis's Arc skill. However, this runs up. This runs up the ladder in terms of usefulness, so that's cool. Learnable skills, we got Fast, no attribute wall, which is okay. Human Killer. That would be good for XBet. Ugh. If this had Human Slayer, I would be pooping my pants. Dang. Dang. Sky High 2, damage to airborne enemies. Very nice that that's teachable. That is a great skill for a lot of the game. Endfire Mega Drive being teachable now, which is also a big skill. I imagine that's going to be super heavy in the SC department. Super heavy. However, having it teachable is exciting. No doubt. Stock Skill 1 and Double Impact. Not mad at Stock Skill 1, but Double Impact I can go without. We're not at the point where we're getting group slayers. I mean, this could have been the first group teachable slayer, which would have been, I think, super hype. Although it probably would have been. How do you even justify? Because Human Slayer separately is what, 36 SC? That's not going to make sense in any build. That wouldn't make sense. I think what we're going to need is, like, before we get group slayers to justify that SC amount, we're going to need a few more enhancement levels so that we can have an SC pool of like 150. I think that's the only way that could work, but fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Yeah, I'm not mad at this UR at all. This is going to be one of the better URs that we've seen in a while, I think. Let's move on to the AER. We have the, what is it? What are you called? Prefects of, nope, Punishment's Edge. It is a 7-star sword. Boost fire attack damage based on number of enemies with debuffs. 5% per debuff up to max 30%. Dang, it had it. Why is it fire? This would have been God tier if it was just regular damage. And I feel like that would have made sense. I feel like the Prefects of God, like, this didn't need to be fire. Like, this could have been just physical attack damage. It would have been so good on Bowser, of course, but it could have been so useful universally. But it's not. It's specific to fire. It's specific to fire attackers. Although, let me take it back, because this is fire attack damage. So this is not even walled by physical only, which is good. However, I still would have rather it had been like physical only, but all damage, or all types. It's not element locked. But whatever. Whatever. It's the choice they made. Stats look okay. Nothing crazy. I don't love it. I don't love the AER. I mean, it works on Adel. It does fit Adel with someone who inflicts debuffs. Adel doesn't get his damage boost to ailments. Ailments don't count as debuffs, so it's very separate. It does work on Adel. It was obviously made to release alongside Adel because it's fire attack damage, but it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. But that's what was released, guys. 49 minutes of reviewing. I hope you all are entertained. No, he's gonna slap people in the goddamn face with that big old sword. Bop, bop. Yeah, this dude's gonna hit very hard. But that's it, right? I think he's gonna deal damage that has people like, whoa. However, that's it. He's not introducing anything wild. He's not introducing anything, I'd say, a lot of us seasoned players would get truly excited for, right? At this point, we've had damage dealer after damage dealer after damage dealer. So I think myself and many others are looking for different mechanics. Thank you, Ken. We're looking for different mechanics that can alter or shift the way we play, the way certain strategies are going to work. Put a little more emphasis in areas that you don't really focus on. So I think that's where you're going to see a lot of people not being super hyped in the community for Adel here, is coming from that perspective. But when you take his kit at face value and you don't compare it to like all of that baggage, he's a monster. He's a monster. His innates are crazy. He's going to be very easy to build. He's going to slap people in the freaking face. I think people are still going to prefer Shift Bayland after all is said and done, because there's Shift Bayland, as I've said before, he's convenience incarnate. There is no worry. You don't have to think about elements. You don't have to think about slayers. It's all just built into him. You do have to think about slayers, but for the majority, you guys, most of you know what I mean. Bayland is a brain dead unit. This guy, you're still going to have to be a bit strategic. Again, like I said, I think he's going to look absolutely stupid against bosses and enemies where where you can take advantage of everything, right? If you take him in as a fire unit and you fight earth enemies, all of a sudden he is a unit that has super armor. So then it's like, whoa. But outside of that niche scenario, I think he's nothing we haven't seen before. Which we know that's the direction that Last CLOUDIA's been going. They don't really release units that are power creeping in a general sense. Except for Shift Bayland. Except for Lagrabos. Those two units, currently, they are the easiest form of damage in their respective categories, physical and magic. But then you have units like Adel, who, in his strong scenarios, he will look way better than Bayland, right? Bayland is so revered because you can take him anywhere and he's going to be great. Adel is going to look truly incredible against these more niche situations where you gain all of his benefits. So we got a lot more to talk about, guys. We got a lot more to talk about. That was item 1. Okay. You know what I need? I need an editor. I need an editor who can take these long live streams and then just do the chopping for me. It's just people that I would want to pay them well, and I just can't yet. So it's like catch-22. That's because they're old, and this is old men CLOUDIA. Shift Bayland does not have super armor. However, Shift Bayland's attack animations are quick, so you don't really feel the effects of losing his damage like you would in Adel's S3 with no super armor. Does that make sense? Okay. Next one. We talked about it. Okay, we did cover the first two. We covered Adel. We covered Prefects of God. You are Ark. Calphonite. 1 UR and 1 hero guaranteed 10 spin gacha is returning, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't there now 3 renditions of this? So we went from 1 to 2, and then we're now introducing 3 of these banners, if I'm not mistaken. 3. It's get pricey, guys. This game is getting pricey. God, should I talk about it now? I don't know if I should talk about it now. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, this 1 UR and 1 hero guaranteed 10-spin gacha is one of the craziest things that this game has to offer. However, it is for paid-only players, right? It's $99 to buy the amount of crystals to summon on these, and now there are 3 of them. So in total, if you wanted to summon on all 3, you gotta spend basically $300. Gaming! Welcome. Your boy cannot do that, so I will not be able to capitalize on this hype. But for those who have expendable income, that's going to be fun. But also, you can be strategic with it. You're going to want to look at which UR arcs you have or don't have, how much you can or can't spend, and then determine where the arcs you want are, right? And so you don't have to spend on all 3, however. I'm sure you can also get tickets along with the bundle. That's what happened last anniversary for the 3-year anniversary. The UR Arc bundle also came with raid up tickets for the new unit. So there's a lot of value packed within these bundles, but they are just expensive as shit. We have the 10-spin gacha to get Band of Dunes. Now, this is super hype, and I'm pretty sure many players have no idea why. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Band of Dunes. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Let's switch back to browser. I thought I spelled it right. Band of the Dunes, that's why. Okay, Band of the Dunes is an arc. Why is it so hyped that everyone is getting this for free? This arc is as rare as collab arcs that have only returned once, right? So Band of the Dunes was an arc. I don't even remember if it was... Okay, here we go. Here's the location. Why is this a limited arc? Highest possibility is due to it being a commemoration for the Fusion Festival update. This was back way before your boy Buddha started playing. However, they released this arc, and it was considered limited. It was considered seasonal. No, it wasn't considered seasonal. It was just considered like limited to apparently this Fusion Festival update. And then it never appeared again. It's not a general SSR. You can't pull it as an off-banner pull. They brought it back for the Valentine's Day when OMGGGMGMGMFHFH released, which was when I started playing 2 years ago. And I actually ended up picking it up. But to my understanding, that's the only time this arc reappeared. Maybe it came back. Did it come back for last Valentine's Day? I don't think it did. I think this arc has only reappeared once. So first of all, the value of everyone getting it for free now is immense because it is so rare. On top of that, it has Auto Matisse teachable. It's the only arc with Auto Matisse teachable, which is the permanent 20% to M&D, which, for those of you who don't know the value of the Matisse buff, it in effect doubles your Proud Force heal procs. So if your Proud Force every crit is healing your unit for 150, with Matisse, now it's healing for 300, which makes a massive difference in unit sustain. So in long fights where you need a lot of health sustain, Auto Matisse is an incredible skill. I use it in almost all of my Maze of Tartarus builds. It also comes with MP up 4, someone pointed out, which is not like the craziest thing. However, when you want your MP ups, you want all of them, so it's definitely a useful skill. And then also the band music box, which is the AER. As you can see, gives some nice stats. Does give 30 MP. Any accessories that give MP you'll want to take note of is useful. But Wave Start, heal 3 to 10 MP. What this does is allow for your mages. For many mages, this can be an essential item to include to have them insta-cast your non-stackable spells in Arena, which, for those of you who don't know, in Arena, your mage is there for crowd control. You want them casting their spells not to deal damage most of the time. Now things have changed a bit, but you want them there to cast their non-stack magic to take control of the cast space and consistently flinch the enemies. That's the point of, that's the general purpose of mages in Arena as we know it. This item helps get you to be the first one to be casting very, very, very easily. So ton of value in Arena with this AER. In a very quick synopsis. So this arc holds a lot of value that people just don't know about because it doesn't exist on most people's accounts. But now that you're playing for the 3.5 year anniversary, everyone just gets a free 10 spin where this is guaranteed. I love it. I love it. Now, when will this come back after the anniversary? I guess we'll see. What would be amazing is if they just add this to the permanent pool afterwards. Like, everyone gets it for free, and now it's added to the permanent gacha. Maybe they did announce that. I don't think they did, but that would be a cherry on top. That's how I think they should approach it. Rather than keep this locked as a mystery limited arc for whatever reason. But now everyone's going to have access to it as long as you're playing within this time frame. So awesome, 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 awesome stuff. Love it. All right. What's next? Can I cross these out? We got that. We got that. Talked about it. And talked about it. Lit. Look at that. So professional. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I can do it on my end, though. Next up, you are Ark Trade Ticket. Guys. Okay, let me see if I can find this. This is, I would say, I don't even know if I can say this is the most hype thing. I don't know if I can say it's the most hype thing, but it is tied for the most hype thing, in my opinion. This had everyone pooping their pants. This Calphonite, I know, 0. This is the most hype thing for the overall community because there are so many players, free-to-play players, that still have never pulled a UR arc. RNG has never been on their side. This is the first time in 3.5 years that they are giving you one. And one of your choice. It can't be undermined how crazy this is. It just cannot be. Free-to-play players are eating this update. I don't want to take away from how hyped this is. I think I'll go into my critiques at the end of the video. But right now we need to just celebrate that everyone's getting a UR arc for free. Like, okay. It does only go up to the Eldravana arc being arc that we can see here. So that was the one that released with Shift Rollin'. So any arcs that released in the last 6 months you don't have access to. But that's not a big deal because the top 3 arcs in the entire game are within that list. So, as I discussed, some videos I want to make, I do want to make a, my opinion on which arcs you should choose with this ticket. I think that video is going to go absolutely insane. So, that's going to be coming on the horizon. I'm not going to talk about that much in this live stream. So, look forward to that. But, just so much hype. So much hype. We're not there yet, Aradon. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Super duper hype. Oh my goodness gracious. Hold on. I just read Calphonite's member. Hold on. Did I really get that wrong? That's such a huge L on my part if I did. I'm going back. So, okay, we praised the free UR art ticket. Everyone look forward to a which art to choose video from your boy Buddha. We're moving back a step. The 10 spin gacha to get Band of Dunes is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. That sucks. Were you all telling me that in the chat and I was ignoring you? Because that actually sucks if that's not the case. It's a chance to get Scoozy says. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's big misinformation on my part. It's guaranteed, Ahmad? Barlene, it's a gacha where you'll get it guaranteed, but it's not a free pull. Okay. This is why I wanted to do a live stream with you guys. For this exact reason. So we could nip these little misinformations in the bud. Got it. Shout out. Shout out to the cat man himself, Barlene. Who loved the face reveal, by the way. Props on that. Okay. You can get it guaranteed, but you're going to need to spend some free crystals, is what I'm understanding. Or is it paid crystals? Because now we also have that layer. Now we have that layer. Is it paid crystal guaranteed, or is it free crystal guaranteed, right? Okay. Regardless, the Band of Dunes line item is not as hype as I thought it was. So that is sad. Free crystals? Okay. That's at least something. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. I'm going to cross out your Arc Trade ticket because we talked about it. Alright, and now I think we can move on to some things that should be quick to talk about. Free 3,000 crystals quest, so in their typical fashion, we're getting a free multi-spin with free crystals that they usually do. So that's always nice. 250 free spins is making a return up to unit Mia and Mama Nop SSR Arc. So they've started to do this with these general pools. We just saw it with the unit and Arc exchange banner that we have currently up. The unit goes up to a certain release date, but the Arc goes further. Had me very confused because when I looked at the current lineup, I saw that Shift Balin's Arc released with him was available, but he's not. So we'll have Arcs available to acquire that up to the most recent amount, but the character will be limited. So I missed my chance to make a video on this before I think many players took action. But this still applies, and I'm going to say it here for those who maybe haven't used their unit or Arc exchange ticket or haven't summoned on the banner yet and you still want to. Guys, we have the stock tickets to use for the banner incoming on the 13th, right? We have that little stock amount. Let me just pull up LC. We have this stock right here. That's going to be, those are going to be summons available while these two banners are active. So the best thing you can do is get your exchange ticket for whichever you want and then wait. Do not use it yet, because you might get what you want off of this stock ticket summon on the 13th when it's available. And then you can use the ticket to get something else guaranteed, which is just better value, right? So that is the best way to approach these summons. And then, of course, I think with the 250 free summons, oh, damn, Barlene said it's 3,000 paid. Oh, that's tough. That's going back to the Band of the Dunes. Okay, that went from the most hype thing to we're not going to talk about it. We're going to sweep that one under the rug. Okay. Sweep it under the rug. Okay. I mean, my opinion, but like that Arc ain't worth paying $3,000 paid for. So that took a full 180. We're skipping that. We're gonna pretend like that never happened. Let's keep talking about what we're talking about here. Do your stock summons and do your free summons. When does this expire is what we need to figure out. Limited time, the choose a unit, we have 9 days, right? So we'll be able to use our stock summons in 3 days, And then you'll have another 6 days of the 250 free spins, right? You'll have another 6 days of the 250 free spins to see if you get the Ark you wanted, before you have to think about using your unit exchange or Ark exchange ticket. So that's the advice I have. Best practices there. Gonna cancel that off. Keep moving on. Free rainbow potion, pretty standard nowadays with these big anniversaries, so not gonna complain. Up to level 100, done. New items. All right, let me see if I can pull this up on the live stream. Okay. New freaking items. We have the Mother Prisms, which I think they're in global, they're titled, what is it? Godly something? Kit said the name of them. Godly something. Anyway. God Relic Prisms. That's what it was. Wait, no, those are different? Or did you just, Calphonite, did you just put the names that we know? Anyway, this is hype as hell. Okay? This is what I meant. What we're about to get into now is the other thing that me personally, I consider equally hype to the free UR exchange ticket. We're getting Mother Prisms accessible, which have been, yeah, we're just going to call them Mother Prisms. We've been asking for those. The player base has been asking for those since before I started. So, took a while, but they are here. We are finally going to be able to use our Prism Souls to craft these Mother Prisms to give dupe plus 2 SC to any unit of your choosing. Not only that, oh, there's also Prism Souls and God Relic Prism Shards. So I guess you can also use... Wait, what? I'm not understanding that. I think the most hype thing is the Mother Prism right here, right? So that's equally as hype as what else you can see in this screen. Craftable UR Stardusts. This can go one of two ways. I'm holding my breath before getting too hyped for this. Yes, the thought of this is hype beyond belief. I guess now's a good time to talk about it. Actually, no, I'm going to save it. I just looked a couple line items down. We're going to wait to talk about my concerns, my critiques, I would say. However, the potential for crafting UR Stardust and Mother Prisms is God tier. It's God tier. There's no doubt about that. Okay. You should see the next slide. Basically, new mats to craft a bunch of stuff. Yes. Yeah. So here is the actual breakdown of what is going to be needed to make certain things. These are going to be the new items that we're going to be using in order to craft everything here. I assume this is the Mother Prism. This is the UR Stardust. We're going to have the ability to craft all types of of Stardusts, right? Ranging from R to UR, which, yes, super duper uber hype. I guess this is the Prism. What's the point of a God Relic Prism Shard? I don't understand. Prism Shards are you can already use them across all the units, so I'm not understanding. I would need some further clarification, but anyway. It's hype. It is definitely hype. There's no doubt about it. We need to see what it actually looks like in game, is what I'm going to say. Right? And then, yes, we're going to be combining 10 of these new items. We're going to be combining 10 of them in order to get what we're, that final result. So, I imagine these are not going to be things we come across often, right? I'm wary of the grind, and I'm even more wary of the paid walls that they potentially can put behind this. So, those are my two big fears. We'll talk about monetization and that all that moving forward when we get further down here. Oh no, here it is. We're here. So I talked about Craftable Stardust up to UR. Absolutely insane. Now, let's talk about... I'm just going to move on. Okay. I'm not going to lie. The momentum for me in this live stream was what some of you guys imagined, right? I think Kruger said he just thought I was going crazy when they're making these announcements. And I definitely was. And then we get to this part. These are Ultra Rainbow Crystal Stones, which is the one on the left, which unlocks a unit to level 100 and all of the 4-star nodes. 3,000 paid crystals that costs. And then we also have what's next to me, the Soul Crystal, which boosts your Ark automatically to level 10 for 300 paid crystals. Okay. Spitched! Welcome to the Buddha fam. Okay. I've been going back and forth with this all day. You guys know my sentiments on paid-only things. So this definitely slowed the momentum down immediately as soon as they announced this. Because then it's like, well, damn, okay. This is just more definition, right? There's a line. When we're talking about free-to-play mobile gachas, which, yeah, of course, do much better in the East than the West. There is a line that gets etched between your free-to-play and your pay-to-play. And I think that there should be a difference. If you're paying, you're supporting the game more, you get more benefits, and that's fine. But when that line just starts getting etched deeper and deeper and deeper, and now it's like not even the same game if you're paying versus if you're not paying, like it's not even a comparable experience, that's when my icky feeling just starts rising up. So now, if you want to be a paid, if you are talking about Last CLOUDIA today, being a paid player doesn't just mean you have more units than free-to-play players and you are ARCs. Being a paid player now means that you have the LC pass, you're getting these items, you're getting all the units. You're maxing out these units without even having to try. You're doing events more. You're able to do events more. Your grind and the necessity to understand the game on a deeper level is completely wiped out by becoming a paid player. The thought of that separation is what I despise. And while these two things alone are not the biggest deal, because they're not tied to gachas, right? You know how much they cost, you pay for it, you get the return. So it doesn't have the element of gacha where it's like people don't have impulse control and they spend and spend and spend when they really don't have the funds to do that. That's a whole other different problem. So alone, these two things aren't a big deal. But when I think about these two things being added along with the entire ideology I just talked about, it just sucks. It just sucks. To me, my opinion. Part of the reason I started this game and loved it so much compared to other gachas I was playing is because being a paid player did not mean you could just be better than a free-to-play player. Both sides of the coin needed to grind the game. You had to understand, you had to find efficient farming methods, and there wasn't a crazy difference in game progress, regardless if you were paid or free. The only difference was the competitive edge, which still required, even if you were a paid player, the competitive edge, you still needed to play and understand the game an equal amount of time to rank well in time trials and all that. Now, you can just pay your way to a level that free-to-play players have no hope of getting to. And that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. You can't argue that the time spent farming and the time spent to upgrade your account as a whole doesn't get just slashed drastically by the addition of these two items and the LC pass. And these are not cheap. 3,000 paid crystals is like $40. So this game, for me, like these two things. Oh, yeah, you don't even have to work on your soul farm, right? Like, that was one of the biggest things to understand, like, to get an Ark to level 10 and then make it so your account could efficiently get Arks to level 10. That was a huge time investment because you had to make the effort to save up souls, use the blue and red souls to upgrade things strategically, use your Zell to upgrade. That is completely wiped away by this item. Zero says, free-to-play experience is already very good. I dislike that these existing makes free-to-play think the game is too hard for them. Game was not balanced to shaft free-to-play instead of being paid. I don't think I understood that, honestly. My brain didn't read that and interpret it, but I think you're saying what I'm saying. The game the game is not a pay to play game by any means. It's not whether you can play the game. You can enjoy this game as a free to play player. You have plenty of resources as a free to play player to have an incredible experience, clear all content. None of that is taken away. Well, no, I should say that experience is still there. But it's that difference in being a free-to-play versus a paid player that takes away from the free-to-play experience. It does. It just does. At least in the Western market. I don't think paid items like this, they don't affect the JP player base like it does the West player base, the Western player base. So, I'm trying to think if there are any other thoughts I wanted to say regarding this, but I think that's about it. It just, this game has officially, it's always had the line between paid players, and free players. But this update will solidify being a paid player having an enormous advantage in account progression versus a free-to-play player. And that's what I don't like. It's now just turning into, it's now just getting closer to every other gacha out there. So, Tweacz doesn't give two shits about any of this. This is simply for us free to play. You understand? I've spent my fair share on LC. But compared to true spenders on LC, I'm nowhere close, right? I also have only spent what I have because you guys have supported me to do so. So I can't say thank you enough for that. However, my roots are the salty free-to-play player base that, like, I've come a little more in the middle where now, like, I want there to be ways for a game to monetize so that we can support them and keep the operation going to continue to play the game, right? Keeping the game alive is only possible with money being funded. So I want there to be monetization ways. It's finding the ways that I don't feel affect everything I just explained so heavily. I don't think a single game has existed that does it well. The only game I know that makes enough money, plenty of money, is Fortnite off of like cosmetic purchases alone. But there are so many arguments as to why Fortnite can do it and other games cannot. that it's just hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about. But so coming from the free-to-play player base and the roots and that ideology, these kinds of things infuriate me to my core, right? So it was impossible for it not to just dampen my mood. But again, as Zero said, the free-to-play experience, this doesn't make the game harder for free-to-play players. It just makes it easier for paid players. So, yeah, whatever. You know, it is what it is. I think I've talked in circles enough. Guild Wars 2, I wanted to get back into Guild Wars 2. That was my biggest MMO I played, the most time I put into an MMO. I wanted to get back into it, but I don't even know how I would start making content on that again. So, love that game, by the way. That's Fashion Wars, freaking lit. Both the pass and these items are meant to speed up progress, exactly, and that's the thing. You can get to that level. It's a moral battle. I don't know. I'm done talking about it. Let's get back to our list, shall we? So Ultra Rainbow Crystal Stones unlocks all the nodes. Soul Crystal boosts Arc to level 10. We talked about it. Yes. We are also Tarot. Tarot, right? Tarot? No, Tarot. How do you say it? Tarot reading. Thank you for subscribing. We're getting a new rendition of anniversary weapons. A new claw and a new axe. We've seen these anniversary weapons in the form of a sword. What are they even called? Does anyone remember? If we go to equips, is it just called anniversary? Celebratory. Yes, celebratory, I think. Here we go. Okay, so we get these celebratory weapons. We have the celebratory blade, and we have the celebratory long blade. This is Sword CLOUDIA, everyone. They released 2 swords before they thought about releasing different celebratory weapons. All right, that was Cap. We do have the celebratory staff. These are essentially, I don't expect anything different. They increase proportionate to the unit's level. No, I'm sorry. Proportionate to the unit's level, and it affects usually a certain stat. Some others have different kinds of effects. The celebratory medal, the celebratory ring. I believe all of these items will be returning, but we're just getting a claw. We're getting a claw and an axe rendition. All right. Tower of Trials is coming back, as well as Ajidosian. This is a very, very powerful sword. If you're going to be using Adel in his light form, this weapon's going to be incredible for you. There will probably be plenty of 4 Lords of Ruin guides that will be resurfacing in order to help you beat these 2 events, so fret not. We should be able to provide, like veterans of the game, for new players, we should be able to provide carries. Unit support carries, and I'm sure many people will help out. I know that Zero was a huge player that helped other players get through these stages with his Guardian Angel Lucio build, so shout out to him. So that is coming. Tower of Trials, as I said earlier, will be returning. I feel like I just did it because I did, and it's coming back. So fun. We've got the new stamps. I don't know what they say. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not register. I did not remember. But they're cool. We have an Alice 1 to Grogue, Dine, Baran, Zuglis, and Rabala. So, fun stamps. They look fun. Zero says, screw all you noobs. He's done helping. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, let's move into more news that I'm not particularly excited to talk about. 19 new pieces of gear added to the GodForge. Includes both new unit exclusive and regular gear. So, if it's anything like the last GodForge update that had 18 credential gear and 2 regular gear, I'm not going to be a happy camper, in all honesty. I mean, if we take it at best case scenario, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 7 credential gear shown here. Hopefully it's 7 credential and then another 12 free to grind gear, which I highly doubt is the case, but it's potential. There's potential here that we could be seeing Zelbius GodForged. Is there any reason for me to think this is the case? I spelled it wrong. There we go. The UR Eldravana OG Ark Ether Reward. We've been waiting. We want Shift Roland's sword. We want this to turn into that. It is an anniversary where we have Adel. Shift Roland is a descendant of Adel. It would make sense. It would make sense, Adis. It would have made sense many times now, but now it would also make sense. So please, 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 please. Let's keep moving forward. We're getting a bunch of new anniversary packs, paid and free crystals. There usually, or at least last time, there was a free crystal bundle that included a unit guaranteed ticket from the Super DOH banner that includes like everything DOH URs released up until that point. So if that's there again, it might be worth it. But usually, it's just more paid stuff that I'm not interested in promoting. Okay, here we go. Wrong one. This is fascinating. Let me see if I can find it. Was there a promo picture for it? No. I don't think there was a promo picture for it. I think it's somewhere in this panel. It says it, but there's no dedicated picture to it. However, we're getting a Limit Breaker Field Ultra. Huge boost to quest rewards. Huge boost to quest rewards. This is going to be a week-long event. This is essentially your grand ability gates, which give you a very, very nice amount of ability board materials, depending on which colored crystal you want. This is for limit breaker items. So your feathers, your onyx eyes, your cursed beast hearts, or whatever they're called, and all of the sub-tier item rewards that you usually have to do through multiplayer. We're going to have this new special type of event, which I am confident in my assumption that it's going to mimic the type of event that we get for the dedicated either Sun Vessel Island or like the current event map that we have with Lagrabos. I can actually show that in game. So we go in game. I believe it's going to mimic the limit breaker node that we get during these types of events. Show us the sleighs. I haven't done mine for today. Don't flame me on it. Where is it? Is it this one? Yes. Interdimensional Rift Southwest. You can see the otherworldly. I think it's going to mimic this type of event because their feedback on this has been so strong. That's what I can assume this new Limit Breaker Field Ultra is going to be. So it's a way for them to bring this back without having to do a dedicated, mini map for the event that they're bringing. So super hype. Big thumbs up. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it a lot. Talked about that. It is going to be temporary, as I said. It's going to be available from the 20th to the 27th. Here we go. Let's get into this right here. Oh my goodness! How do I stop it? It's madness. This guy actually subscribed in order to spam me. That's crazy. How do I ban him? I need help. Where's my mods? Why aren't you a mod, Cal? Goodness gracious. YouTube's weird because you can't ban people. Like, you can't outright ban them. When you look at the options, you can report them, you can put them in timeout, you can hide them from the channel, but you can't ban them. Very strange. Usually when you make it so that only bots, only subscribers can comment, the bots don't infiltrate. So, very fascinating. Very fascinating. Yeah. Interesting. You were a mod. I don't know what happened. Okay. Oh, add moderator. Here we go. I'm going to add you, and I'm going to add a mad. Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh! This guy is persistent. He must have multiple accounts. Hold on. This is now a game. That's what I'm saying. Hold on. Ban account from YouTube channel. Go to the channel page. Go to the About tab. Click Report User Set Block. That's so extra. That's what I'm saying. Why is there not just a ban? He's back again. Well, I apologize for this section of the live stream. This is actually crazy. All right, let's see if I can make this work. Settings. Close. You can put on slow mode. How do I do that? Listen, I'm not mad at it because we get to learn. We get to learn how YouTube works. Community. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my god, see, it showed his subscription. Holy crap. That's crazy. Yeah, he's got a bunch of accounts that all say the same thing. Wow. So it's a targeted attack. Well, I ask that y'all just help me out. We got my 2 mods on the case. So, there we go. Fun stuff, right? Shall we get back to the main show? Goodness! The bot is paying to spam. Amazing. It's amazing how people spend their time. But, you know. Shall we get back into what we're here to talk about? We got a roadmap, y'all, that goes all the way to January. You're big enough that bots care. Hey, listen, I guess so. It's problems that we welcome, right? Fun stuff. Okay, within this roadmap, I'd say the one thing worth talking about, arena updates. So for this first section here that we're getting on this update, we're getting reduced incapacitation times. This is going to change the flow of an arena fight substantially. They're cutting it in half from 10 to 5 seconds. Thank goodness. I love this because it means you are able to clear arena fights in half the time. So thumbs up there. It's also going to introduce a little layer of what to expect when the revive mechanic kicks in. We're getting the daily max cap going from 50 to 180 and then respectively increasing when they do their arena promos. Zell and soul costs are reduced. Dammy! Or Dami. I'm going to say fresh. Thank you for joining the Buddha fam, my friend. Welcome. So we are getting the reduced Zell and soul costs, so refreshing your arena fights is going to be cheaper, which is essential. Again, dropping some more arena tips for y'all who don't know everything about arena yet. Designing an attack team to fight a specific defensive team is half of the way to succeed in high-level arena gameplay. So the ability to refresh and search for the teams that you are specifically have advantages to fight against is a huge part of arena, which requires a lot of Zell and a lot of, well, not so much souls, but a lot of Zell. And so having those costs reduced is going to be nice. Formations rebalanced. Oh, I didn't read that. I thought it was the cost of formations goes down. Are they actually... Wait. The formations are actually getting changed? Superclass ranking rewards will be revised and updated. Zell and soul costs for battles are lowered. Formations rebalanced. Chuck! I don't. But I can get that for you. I can absolutely get that for you. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Goodness. I'm logged out of everything. Listen, if someone says dono time, I will stop what I'm doing, okay? Oni! Oni's got a special place in my heart. Alright. Copy. Nope. Back. Copy. I know, I've been sleeping. Dono link. Plain and simple. Whoops. Always good to see Oni. Alright, you don't gotta tell me twice. Let's get back to the matter at hand. Arena formations. What did you guys say about the formations? The formations are getting buffed and nerfed. That will impact the current arena climate greatly, depending on the types of revamps. I assume they see why spell render is way too broken. Rather than a nerf on spell render, I hope that they add more SCT charging to other formations. Because that's the only reason to use spell render over all the other ones, is because of the amount of chunk. Tom! Okay, we're just going crazy off the bat. Let's, nope, come on. I'm in reporter mode. We can't lose focus. Thank you, guys. Bullets, that is sad, because if you haven't touched it in 2 years, you have missed out. Let's just say 365 times 2, we're looking at 730. 730 times 20. How many Mother Souls is that? Doomcaster Russell, my man. You've missed out on 730 times 20 Mother Souls is how many Mother Souls you've missed out on. So, my condolences go out to your Mother Soul income. But, anyway. Arena updates are incoming, guys. So, not only that, but we're getting arena updates this update. We're getting arena updates in November and arena updates in December. So we're getting 3 months of arena rebalancing or revamping. There's a lot of potential there, guys. A lot of potential. Arena's already a dull experience. Obviously, it's new for people who are just joining the game, but it has been around and the same thing and stale for way too long for players that have been playing the game for a while. So a revamping would be awesome. And it sounds like they're really making an effort to change a lot of things there. So dope stuff. for sure. Talked about that. Calphonite! Coming in with the BoodaFan membership and a dono. Love y'all. Tom coming in with another 10. Sorry, I just blanked out for a second. Okay. Arena revamping, super exciting. We'll have to see what the future updates hold. Added more permanent missions. Number of multiplayer clears is getting reset. Mike B. Sorry. Number of multiplayers clears in what? That's not a word. Reset. We're getting another 6,000 gems for playing multiplayer battles again, which is awesome. They did tell us when multiplayer first released. Nentu, welcome to the BoodaFan. They did tell us that they were going to refresh these multiplayer crystals occasionally. We had to wait a year and a half, but they have finally fulfilled that promise, so I'm not mad at it at all. Number of GodForged items held and number of times GodForged items have leveled up are going to be added as permanent mission rewards. This can potentially be awesome. I don't know what the reward is for it. They didn't tell us it was going to be crystals, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Knights X Games, you can't wail anymore. BoodaFan will do it for you. I don't think they confirmed that we would get crystal rewards from our GodForge possession. So I don't want to get too excited, but if that's what they're choosing to make the reward, that's a humongous thumbs up. Humongous. If they don't, it sucks. Just point blank. Mother Souls would be okay. I'd say crystals up top. That's what would make everyone happy. Mother Souls would be an okay second. Everything else I can do without. So we'll have to see what the rewards are before getting way too excited. Scoozy coming in with the $3 tip. Thank you, my friend. You already give so much, so I appreciate you. We're getting the new main story coming on the 27th, as Calphonite specified. Not in the update in 3 days, but 2 weeks from now. Ark rejoining the BoodaFan. So story will be extremely exciting. I know for people who like lore. Let me introduce you to our residential lore expert, Semi. We left off at on a very high note last story update, so I know many of us are anticipating the upcoming story. So very excited to see how it's going to continue there. But well, it's not coming in the anniversary update, so don't expect it immediately. Okay, let's talk about something else, shall we? Let me find it. Where the heck was it? Where did y'all put this in the live stream? Towards the end? No, am I blind? Anyway, I don't think I need to switch screens. I don't need to switch screens. I can just show you. From January to March, they don't give us the exact month that this is planned. They give us the range, but far down the line. They're teasing it to us now, but it's going to feel like an eternity before it actually comes. However, we got to talk about the announcement of Guild versus Guild, y'all. What's the point of guilds if there's not some kind of competitive aspect in these kinds of games? This is where I can't say I'm hyped for Guild v Guild, because these types of things, this is where pay to play versus free to play, that fissure just starts opening up. Mike B, my man, coming through. This is where that fissure starts to open, because free-to-play guilds have no shot. You have no freaking shot. So, with that in mind, it all depends on the kind of content that they're planning for this and the reward system that they're planning on this. That's gonna determine the taste that's left in everyone's mouth from this potential guild v guild. And based on their current management of the guild system, I'm not like expecting much, I guess I should say. Like, there is nothing about a guild right now that is worth talking about, other than the potential worldly radiance or rainbow potion you can get from the daily login. That's the only thing worth mentioning in guilds. The way they've done guild ranking, there's no incentive to try. So hopefully they're taking the feedback. I'm pretty positive that JP and Global alike equally dislike everything involving guilds right now. So yeah, Alt Tech says you can get something besides Chrysolite. Typically not, my friend. Usually not. So we'll see what that brings to the table, but I'm not super duper excited or anticipatory. Who knows if that's a word. Then Calphonite just lays out for the rest of the roadmap in November. It just mentions the second round of arena revisions in December, improvements to guilds, and third round of arena revisions. So there's going to be more QOL in December, I guess, to set us up for the guild v guild structure. So hopefully that'll pay off. We'll see. January to March is the guild v guild and new story, so even more story. We'll get story on the 27th of October, and then we won't see story again until next year. So just have that in the back of your head. And then finally, the last thing we have currently in Calphonite's list. We're not really leaving off with the biggest bang, if I can even find it. Come on, Buddha. Come on, Buddha. Buddha, where are you? I don't see it. We're getting a Maria sticker. It's if whatever. Like, I can't find it. We're getting a free Maria Singer from the Oasis sticker as a free login bonus reward. That's it. Not much to speculate or talk about there. Just fine. Guild bosses, meh, you still do it. Yeah, I stopped doing it because I started using XBet for other things and then never rebuilt her to do it. So, and I don't want to, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. So the only way I'll regret that, and now that we're talking about revisions to guild in December, I may want to try and accumulate guild coins again. Hopefully they'll revamp that shop. I'm hoping with this push to include more ways of getting UR Stardust, they're going to include more ways to get UR Stardust in multiple areas of the game. One of the easiest ways to do that is introducing it to the guild shop. Even if it's like 1,000 guild coins, I don't care. Just give me another way to get it. So accumulating the guild coins in anticipation for December might motivate me to start doing the guild hunt again. But currently, yeah, it all just sucks. Guys, that is gonna do it for our list. Barlene also mentioned lots of good stuff when the story update hits this month. So probably looking forward to a lot of new world bosses, a lot of new really good end game gear to get from those bosses. So that is exciting. Buddha, before you leave, thoughts on the story update? What's my theory? I don't have it, Semi. I'm going to spoil some things. If you don't want to hear any talk about story, you're not really going to understand what I'm saying anyway, but I'll give you 3, 2, click off the video. 1, I just want Ryvern in the game. So that's about it. Oh, Jessica might be a free playable character. I could see them doing that. Everyone wants her as a free playable character. Fire King Kami says, W stream, I appreciate it, my man. We had many layers to this stream. We covered all the info. We talked about Adel. We battled a bot. We got Dono hype up the booty. We got some Buddha fam members in here. Facts. Super W stream. Thank you guys for being here. Scozy. Gifted the subs. My dream is 1,000 recurring Buddha fam members. That would help your boy Buddha have a recurring income so much I wouldn't have to stress Lady Buddha out. So every single Buddha fam membership, every single sign up helps. Thank you guys so much. Super duper hype. And thank you for continuing to come back. Support your boy through the last CLOUDIA content. Guys. Where do I even go from here? I feel like there's so much I want to say. In terms of last CLOUDIA. And just my YouTube career overall. You know, we're still growing with LC. LC's still introducing some incredible things. But I'm not going to lie. With the addition to these paid items that you can get, it is really just pushing me away. Hitman! It's pushing me away from wanting to be in this microtransaction gaming life. So this stream helped revitalize me a little bit. So thank you guys for coming out and showing the support that you have done. Who said I'm done? So I don't know. I've been going back and forth in my brain with just like the future of the channel and how I want to manage some kind. Oh, Scoozy's going crazy. Scoozy's going crazy. Semi, unfortunately, that argument, or it's not an argument, that fact doesn't take away from everything that I explained, right? Of course, you don't have to buy the items if you don't want to. But it doesn't mean that the existence of them separates the two player bases completely, right? So it's just we got like an equal amount. We got so much QOL for all players in this update that you can't deny how hype this update's going to be and how exciting it is for the future of this game. But it does hurt me and my thoughts with the type of paid items that they're introducing for everything we talked about before. Kudos to you. Being free to play and not even caring about the pay to play game is amazing. And it can absolutely be done. Like we mentioned before, the free to play experience is still as strong as ever and only getting better. So, I think we can end on that. But, yeah, thank you guys for your constant support. Whoa! Calphonite! And Mike tipped more. Oh, shit. That's a big number. Good Lord in heaven. Anyway, listen. I support the health of LC, right? I love the game. I love making videos that you guys enjoy, that help y'all out. I know you guys support me too, so it's just a lot of factors to consider when I think about trying to change games or whether I should just keep going strong or just, I don't know. But I've been at this crossroads for like a long time now. I just talk shit and then I don't do anything about it. So we'll see what happens. Thank you all for being here. I hope this live stream helped y'all who maybe didn't catch the JP live stream or didn't understand some things that were talked about in the live stream. We're gonna get all of this information solidified and posted periodically, as I understand from Barleen on Twitter, and hopefully some YouTube videos that just like showcase Adel and his information with official global translations. But I just wanted to make this live stream, go through all the information as I knew it, interact with you guys because I knew it would be a good time. So we've got some super hype to look forward to. Look out for some more videos of me covering this information, certain parts of this info in more depth. And like, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications if you're new so you don't let the algorithm tell you when to watch my videos. With all that being said, y'all know what we say: work hard, play hard. See you in the next live stream.